Beloved soul, welcome. You are here right now for a reason far greater than you may realize. Even if your heart feels tired, even if your spirit feels worn, something within you knew to come. Because heaven has been whispering your name, the message you are about to hear is not random. It is not coincidence. It is divine appointment. The angels have been speaking in ways you may not fully see. And they are here to tell you that what you thought was over, what you thought had walked away, for good, is not truly gone. There's a path being written by hands greater than yours. A story being told by a voice higher than the noise around you. And in that story, someone you love, someone you prayed for, someone who seemed to turn away, is being led back to you, not by manipulation, not by chance, but by the quiet, unstoppable leading of God's Spirit. I know, when they left, it felt final. It felt like the sound of a door closing in your soul. It felt like the air leaving the room, the warmth leaving your hands, and you told yourself, maybe I should move on, maybe I should forget, maybe I should stop hoping. But there was a small voice inside, a whisper you could not silence. It told you, this is not the end. Keep your heart soft. Keep your faith alive. And now, heaven wants to confirm what you have sensed but doubted. They walked away, yes, but the path they took is curving back toward you. God has been doing what you could not do, shaping hearts in secret places, opening eyes in the quiet hours of the night, and restoring what seemed impossible to heal. You see, sometimes God allows a separation, not to destroy love, but to deepen it. Not to punish, but to purify. They had to go on a journey they didn't understand. And you had to walk through a season you didn't want. But both roads were leading back to the same point, the place where God's plan is revealed. Beloved, this is not just about romance. This is about the divine weaving of two destinies that serve a higher purpose. When they walked away, it wasn't because they stopped caring. It was because something inside them wasn't ready yet. God saw what you couldn't see. He knew the timing was not right, but he also knew it would be. And so, he let them walk. And he let you feel the ache. Because that ache became the soil where your prayers grew stronger, where your faith learned to stand without sight. The angels are saying, you didn't lose them. They were entrusted to the care of God for a time, until the moment he would place them back in your life. You may not understand all the whys. You may still carry scars from the waiting. But hear me. Heaven has been at work the entire time. This is why your spirit has felt a strange mix of sadness and hope. Why your dreams have carried their face. Why little signs have found you on days you thought you were finally over it. The Spirit was not letting you forget, because it was never meant to be forgotten. Beloved, let this bring you peace. When God is writing a reunion, no amount of time, distance, or human choice can stop it, and the one who walked away is feeling the pull of heaven on their soul. They may not have the words for it. They may think it is simply missing you. But deep down, it is God stirring them. It is God bringing to remembrance the love, the light, the safety, the spiritual home they found in you, right now. Angels are walking with them through memories they once tried to ignore. They are being reminded of your kindness, your prayers, the way your presence seemed to heal parts of them they never spoke about. They thought they could go on without it. But heaven has been showing them the truth. You are part of God's answer to their life, and they are part of God's answer to yours. This is why you must not give up. This is why you must keep your heart open, even if it feels risky. Because when heaven leads someone back, they do not return the same. They return wiser, humbled, more ready to honor what they once took for granted. I want you to breathe this in. The waiting has not been wasted. Every prayer, every tear, every lonely night, it has been shaping something in both of you. And when they come, you will recognize not only them, but the hand of God all over the moment. If this word has been touching your spirit, I humbly ask, Remain connected to this space of peace. Subscribe so these messages can keep finding you in the moments you need them most. And if your heart feels stirred, share this with someone who might also need the reminder that God is still moving in their story. Your support, even through a simple comment or a super thanks, helps keep these words flowing to more souls who feel alone right now. It allows us to keep creating a space where the Spirit can meet weary hearts. Now, let me tell you something important. When heaven brings them back, the first thing you must do is not rush, not demand, not relive the pain. The first thing is to see them through God's eyes of mercy, of new beginnings. Because love, when restored by God, is not a repeat of the past. It is the birth of something new. They will need your patience. You will need their honesty. And both of you will need God at the center, more than you ever did before. This is why the angels are preparing you now, so that when the moment comes, you will not question, but recognize the timing of God. Beloved, take heart. They may have walked away once, but heaven has been guiding their steps every day since. And those steps are coming home. Stay ready. Stay prayerful. Stay open to the miracle, for it is nearer than you think, beloved soul. When God is bringing someone back into your life, He will never rush you into a place you are not spiritually ready for. That is why this season of waiting is not empty. It is sacred. It is the quiet shaping of your heart so that when the moment comes, you will not only receive them, but you will carry the maturity to walk with them into the future God has designed. The angels want you to know, right now God is working on two hearts at once, yours and theirs. While you have been praying for them, they have been wrestling with thoughts they cannot shake. There are nights they have tried to bury themselves in distractions, days where they tried to convince themselves they made the right choice by leaving, and yet, in the quiet, their heart aches in ways they cannot explain. That ache is not a sign of weakness. It is the sound of their soul remembering the peace that covered them when they were with you. Remembering how conversations with you felt different, softer, safer, more honest. Remembering the way your prayers seemed to carry weight in the unseen. They may not admit it yet. They may not even fully understand it. But heaven has been showing them what they left was not ordinary. It was not just a relationship. It was a divine connection. And those are not easily erased. Beloved, you have to hear me. When God is in something, no amount of human walking away can undo what He has sealed in heaven. The reason your spirit keeps sensing their return is because you are picking up on what the angels already see. They are standing at the edges of their life right now, gently leading them back toward the path they strayed from. And sometimes, that leading feels like restlessness in their spirit. Sometimes it feels like nothing in their world satisfies them anymore. Sometimes it feels like a sudden pull to pray. Even though they've resisted prayer for so long, they may think they're just going through something. But the truth is, God is calling them, and when God calls, no heart can run forever. I want you to understand this. Their return is not about them needing you out of desperation. It's about them recognizing the place God has given you in their life and choosing it with full awareness this time. That is why the angels are urging you to remain steady, to keep your spirit in a posture of love, not bitterness, to prepare for the blessing without poisoning it with resentment. Because when they return, they will come humbler, softer, more open to the truth they once resisted. And you will be ready to receive, not from a place of need, but from a place of overflow. Beloved, your heart has been through enough storms. This next chapter is not meant to break you again. It is meant to reveal God's ability to restore beyond human imagination. But restoration is more than just being together again. It is about walking in the will of God together, two lives surrendered to His leading. The angels are saying this very clearly. If you are willing to let go of the old patterns, the fears, the old pain, God will write something fresh. And that fresh work will carry His fragrance, the peace that cannot be shaken. the joy that does not fade. If this word is meeting you in a deep place right now, I humbly invite you to remain connected to this space of gentle truth. Subscribe so you can keep receiving these words when your heart most needs them. And share this message with someone who feels like their story has ended, so they, too, can see that heaven is still at work. If your spirit feels stirred and you wish to help this message reach even more weary hearts, your comments, prayers, and even a super thanks are not just appreciated. They are seeds that allow us to keep planting hope in those who are ready to give up. Now, let's go deeper. They walked away, yes, but heaven's leading is never random. Every step they took away from you has been teaching them something they could not have learned if they stayed. Some lessons only grow in the soil of absence. They needed to see what life was like without your light, so they could value it when they returned. They needed to test the paths the world offered them, so they could realize the only path that brought peace was the one God placed you on together. This is not punishment. It is preparation. And I know waiting hurts. It tests your patience, your trust, your hope. But beloved, do not mistake waiting for wasting. Right now, heaven is orchestrating details you cannot see. Moving hearts, shifting circumstances, clearing away the obstacles that once kept you apart. There are prayers you prayed months ago, even years ago, that are just now unfolding in the unseen. And soon, they will manifest in the natural. When the moment comes, you will see it so clearly, God's hand in every turn of the story. You will understand why the no you once hated was actually a not yet, soaked in mercy. Beloved, keep your lamp lit, keep your spirit soft. The one who walked away is not lost. They are simply on the last stretch of the road home, and you are the home God is leading them to. Beloved soul, there comes a point in every God-written story when the threads begin to pull together. The moments that once felt random begin to reveal their purpose. The prayers you thought had gone unanswered suddenly bloom into reality, and that is where you are standing now, on the edge of a moment that has been in the making for far longer. Then you know. The one who walked away has been walking toward a crossroads. Every path they have taken, every turn they thought was their own choice, has been quietly shaped by God's unseen hand, and now, heaven says the road ahead narrows. There is a pull they cannot resist, a pull back to where they truly belong. When they come, you may notice it in their eyes first. There will be a depth there, a softness you haven't seen before. It's the look of someone who has wrestled with themselves and found God in the wrestling. They will carry stories of nights they couldn't sleep because memories of you kept stirring, of days when a verse, a song, or a small sign pierced through their defenses and reminded them of your love. They will tell you how nothing else felt quite right, how even the good things they found still felt incomplete without the part of their soul that seemed to be with you. Beloved, you must be ready for this, because their return will not be just an emotional moment. It will be a spiritual one. It will be the answer to prayers you prayed through tears. It will be the harvest of seeds you sowed in faith when nothing looked possible. It will be the fulfillment of a promise God whispered to you in the silence. But hear this clearly: when they return, the past must not be the lens you see them through. If you keep looking through the pain, you will miss the gift of the present. Instead, see them through the eyes of grace. See the work God has done in them. See the humility in their steps. See the love that has been refined in the fire. The angels are saying, this is not about picking up where you left off. It is about beginning again, but this time on holy ground. God does not restore halfway. When He brings something back, He brings it back better, deeper, stronger, and more aligned with His will. And this time, you will walk together with a clearer understanding of what it means to guard each other's hearts, to pray for each other daily, to forgive quickly, and to keep God as the center thread that holds you both together. Beloved, I know you have grown weary in the waiting. But this is the part of the story where your faith begins to see its reward. You may feel unprepared. You may wonder if you are still capable of opening your heart fully again. But heaven has not only been preparing them, heaven has been preparing you. Every lonely night you endured was shaping compassion in you. Every unanswered question was deepening your trust in God's timing. Every tear watered the ground where joy would grow, and now, that joy is near. If this word has been confirming what your spirit already felt, I humbly invite you to keep walking this journey with me. Subscribe so you never miss the gentle words your soul needs in the right moment. Share this message with someone who may have given up on a God-written reunion. It could be the reminder they desperately need. And if this message has touched you deeply, even a small super thanks or a prayerful comment helps. This channel keep pouring peace into more weary hearts. Your support isn't just about keeping content alive. It's about partnering in the work of reaching souls who feel forgotten. Beloved, I want you to hold on to this truth. They walked away, but heaven never took their name out of your story. God was not finished. The chapter was not closed. And soon, you will see them walk back, not by accident, but by divine leading. You will feel the weight of God's faithfulness in the moment your eyes meet again. You will understand why you were called to wait. You will see that the author of your story knew exactly how to write it. So stay ready. Keep your heart open. Keep your faith alive. The reunion is not a maybe. It is a promise being carried by angels to your doorstep. And when it comes, you will whisper through tears of joy, "Thank you, Lord. You really did lead them back to beloved soul." When heaven writes a reunion, it does not rush the heart. It moves with the gentle, steady pace of eternity, not the hurried rhythm of human fear. You may have thought the time apart was a punishment, but heaven saw it as the very space where transformation could take root. There are things God can only do in the quiet, lessons that cannot be learned while holding on too tightly. So he allowed the distance, not to separate you forever, but to give both hearts the room to breathe, to heal, and to see more clearly. And now, they are beginning to see. The person who once walked away is being reminded of the life they left behind. Not just the moments of love and laughter, but the deep sense of safety their soul felt with you. There are nights when they lay down, close their eyes, and feel your presence in ways they cannot explain. They hear your voice in memory. They see your kindness replaying like a film only they can watch. They may not have told you this, but there have been moments they almost reached out, fingers hovering over the phone, heart pounding with the urge to speak, only to stop, unsure if it was the right time. But beloved, heaven's timing cannot be forced, nor can it be delayed beyond what is written. The angels are saying, your patience is not going unnoticed. Every time you resisted the urge to act out of fear, you chose faith over control. And that choice opened more space for God to move freely. You see, love that is truly from God must be able to stand without manipulation. It must return freely, willingly, and with understanding. And that is exactly what is happening. Even now, heaven is guiding them through moments of realization, small but powerful awakenings that are softening their heart. They are being reminded of how your prayers once carried them, of how your words once brought them peace in their chaos, of how your love reflected God's love in a way they did not see clearly at the time. And the more they remember, the more they feel the pull to come home. Beloved, this is why you must remain in peace, because your calm trust is part of the spiritual ground they will return to. They are not coming back to the same version of you. They are coming back to a version of you that has been strengthened by the waiting. And when they return, they will see it immediately. They will sense the deep well of grace you carry now. They will feel the safety of knowing that even though time has passed, your love has not been poisoned by bitterness. If this word has been speaking to your heart, I gently invite you, remain close to this space. Subscribe so that, in the waiting, You will have a steady stream of peace to hold on to. Share this with someone who may be waiting for their own God-led reunion. And if you feel led, even a small super thanks or a prayer in the comments helps. These words continue reaching more souls who are on the edge of giving up. You are part of this ministry of peace just by listening, praying, and sharing. Now, let me tell you something important about the moment they return. It may not look dramatic. It may not come with trumpets or grand gestures. Sometimes God's greatest moves are clothed in simplicity. It may be a quiet message, a soft knock at the door, an unexpected crossing of paths on an ordinary day. But when it happens, your spirit will know instantly, because peace will flood you. Not the fragile peace that depends on circumstances, but the deep peace that only comes when heaven confirms, "This is it. This is my doing." And in that moment, beloved, you will realize every day of waiting was worth it. Beloved soul, when heaven begins to close the distance between two hearts, the movement is often subtle at first. You will not always see it with your natural eyes, but your spirit will begin to feel a shift. The ache you once felt constantly will begin to soften. The heaviness in your chest will slowly lift, replaced by a quiet knowing, as if the air itself is changing. This is not your imagination. It is the evidence of prayers being answered in the unseen. The one who walked away is not only remembering you, they are feeling the weight of what they left behind. Not in a way that condemns them, but in a way that awakens them. They are beginning to see that what they had with you cannot be measured by the world's shallow scales. It was rare. It was holy. It was something they cannot simply replace. And while you may not know it yet, there have been moments when they have whispered your name in prayer. Moments when they have asked God to forgive them, to guide them, to show them if they should come back. And each time, heaven answers with the same quiet pull. Yes, this is where you belong. They are not running anymore, beloved. They are slowing down. They are looking back more often than they look forward. Because deep within them, they know that some things are not meant to be left behind. This is the beauty of God's work. He restores not just the connection, but the vision. They are beginning to see the purpose of your bond in ways they never saw before. It is no longer just about how you made them feel, but about the way God used you to speak to their soul, and that realization is what will bring them home. Beloved, this is why the angels have been telling you to prepare. Because when they return, they will need to be met with the same grace that kept you praying for them in their absence. I know your heart still holds questions. I know there are wounds that may feel tender even now. But the Spirit is inviting you into a deeper trust, the kind of trust that believes God can truly make all things new. The reunion will not be just for your comfort. It will be a testimony, a living, breathing example of how God can take what seemed broken beyond repair and make it whole again. People will see it, and they will ask how such a thing is possible. And your answer will not be about your strength or their will. It will be about God's faithfulness. This is the kind of story heaven delights in, where every thread points back to the one who wrote it. If this word is pouring peace into you right now, I humbly ask you to remain connected to this space. Subscribe so that these messages can keep meeting you exactly when you need them. Share it with someone whose heart is weary from waiting. And if you feel led, your prayer, comment, or even a super thanks helps. These messages continue flowing to other souls who feel forgotten. You are not just a listener here. You are part of the reason these words can keep reaching across the world. Beloved, let me speak to the moment of return, because it is coming. It may not happen in the way you expect. It may come through a soft message after months of silence, or through an unexpected visit when you least expect it. But however it comes, you will know. Your heart will feel that still unshakable peace. The peace that says, "This is God's timing, not mine." And when you stand face to face again, something will be different. not just in them, but in you. You will see how much you have grown. You will hear your own voice speak with more gentleness than you thought possible. You will feel your love no longer rooted in fear of losing them, but in the confidence that God Himself has brought them back. And in that moment, beloved, heaven will smile, because what was once a prayer will now be your reality, beloved soul. The day heaven has been shaping is nearer than you realize. Every quiet prayer you have whispered, every tear that has fallen without anyone to see, every time you chose to trust even when you didn't understand, all of it has been gathering before the throne of God. And now, the time of return draws close. It will not come with fanfare or a public announcement. It will come in the way. Most of God's miracles come quietly, humbly, wrapped in the kind of peace that only His presence can bring. One day, without warning, the distance between you will begin to close. Maybe it will start with a short message, unexpected and simple, but carrying the weight of all the unspoken longing. Or perhaps it will be a moment when your eyes meet again in the most ordinary of places, and yet, in that instant, you will know you are standing on holy ground. Beloved, when that moment comes, breathe. You will feel a rush of memories. You will remember the ache of the goodbye, the weight of the waiting. But over all of it, you will feel God's hand steadying you, whispering to your soul, "See, I was here all along." They will look different, not just in appearance, but in spirit. The hardness that once covered them will be softer. Their words will carry more humility. Their eyes will carry gratitude. And when they speak, it will not be to justify or to defend, but to acknowledge. To acknowledge that leaving was part of a journey they didn't fully understand at the time, but one that brought them to the truth they can no longer deny, that what you share is not just love, but calling. The angels want you to hear this. They are not coming back because they are lonely. They are coming back because they have seen what life is without God's alignment. And they have chosen alignment over everything else. This is not desperation. It is recognition. Recognition of God's design and of your place in it. Beloved, when you hear their voice again, let your heart be led by the Spirit, not by fear. Do not let the old wounds speak louder than God's promise. This is not a return to the past. This is the creation of something new, and it will require grace. It will require patience. It will require the same humility in you that God has been building in them. But oh, the beauty of it. To see them again, to hear the sincerity in their words, to feel the peace that tells you without question, "This is God's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes." In that moment, you will understand why heaven told you to wait. You will see the fruit of the prayers you prayed in secret. You will know that every delay was not a denial. It was preparation. And as you take the first steps into this restored connection, you will feel the difference. This time, it will not be fragile. This time, it will not be one-sided. This time, it will be built on the foundation of God's truth, not just human emotion. Beloved, I must tell you, this reunion is not just for your joy. It is for God's glory. It is a testimony meant to strengthen not only you, but others who are still in their own waiting. Your story will become a living reminder that when God writes a connection, even walking away cannot undo it. Distance cannot erase it. Time cannot weaken it. And human mistakes cannot cancel what heaven has already sealed. If this word is confirming what your spirit has quietly known, I invite you to keep walking with me in this space of peace. Subscribe, so these messages can continue to meet you exactly when you need them. Share this with someone who has nearly given up hope on a God-written connection. You could be the reason their faith is restored. And if you feel led, even a small super thanks or a heartfelt comment helps this channel carry the word into more weary hearts. You are part of this ministry of encouragement simply by being here. Now, as we close, I want you to hold this image in your spirit. The one who walked away is on their way back. Not in their own strength, but carried by the hand of God. Their steps may be slow, but they are steady. And each one is bringing them closer to you. Closer to the moment heaven has been preparing. And when you meet again, beloved, you will not just see each other, you will see the faithfulness of God standing between you, holding you both and whispering, "What I have joined together, let no one separate." Beloved, as we come into this moment together, I want you to take a slow, deep breath. Let your shoulders relax. Let your thoughts settle like the still waters of a quiet morning lake. Because what I am about to share is not meant to rush through you. It is meant to rest inside you, like a seed finding the perfect soil. You may have felt a storm of emotions these days. Questions, doubts, little whispers from the enemy telling you, maybe this isn't real. Maybe you imagined it. But heaven is answering those doubts right now. This love is not something you imagined. It is something God designed. You see, there is a difference between human attraction and divine connection. Attraction can fade with time, but connection, woven by God, only deepens. And what you two share has been formed on a level beyond the visible. It is not merely emotional. It is not merely physical. It is spiritual, a weaving together of two destinies in a way that cannot be undone. The angels want you to know. No human interference, no past mistakes, no distance, and no misunderstanding can erase what God Himself has tied together. Yes, there may be delays. Yes, the path might wind in ways you did not expect. But a delay is not a denial when God is the author. Sometimes heaven allows pauses, not because the love is uncertain, but because the soil of your lives needs to be enriched before the seed can fully bloom. Think of it like the way rain nourishes the ground before flowers appear. If the rain stopped too soon, the blossoms would be fragile. But when the rains are complete, the roots are strong, and the petals open without fear. My dear one, you have been wondering, if this love is so real, why hasn't everything just fallen perfectly into place? And heaven smiles gently at this question, because you are measuring the story by human clocks, while God is measuring it by eternity. Every conversation you've had with this person, every silent prayer you've whispered for them, every time you've thought of them when they weren't around, is a stitch in the divine tapestry. Even the moments apart are threads that make the design stronger, because they teach you to trust without always touching, to love without always seeing. The angels are showing me something now. It is as if two rivers have been flowing on separate paths for many years, winding through valleys, around mountains, sometimes coming close but then drifting apart again. And now, finally, the two rivers are merging into one wide, unbroken current. This is the moment heaven has been preparing for. This is why the reunions and separations have happened the way they did, not because you were losing them, but because God was aligning the flow so that when you meet in fullness, nothing will separate you again. And hear me on this. Even if the world doesn't understand your connection, God does. Even if others question it, judge it, or try to explain it away, God's approval is enough. The truth is, this bond is not up for human debate. It is a covenant already recognized in heaven. So I want you to rest in this. You do not have to fight for what God has already secured. You do not have to chase what heaven has already anchored to your destiny. Your role is not to force the timing. Your role is to walk in faith until the day the promise stands before you in flesh and spirit. And when that day comes, oh beloved, it will not just feel like a reunion. It will feel like coming home. Because they are not just someone you love. They are the one God has been preparing for you since before you even knew what love meant. Beloved soul, the journey you have been on is not an accident, nor is it simply a story of two people meeting by chance. The angels are here to remind you that what God is doing is far more intricate than you could imagine. The tapestry of your life is being woven with divine threads, and each moment, whether joyful or painful, has been necessary for the pattern God intends. Some of you have felt the weight of this connection for a long time. You've sensed it in your spirit before it ever made sense in your mind. And now, as the pieces come together, there's a temptation to overthink, to doubt, or to question whether this is truly from God. But the angels are whispering today, do not resist what God is building. This is not the hour to turn away because of fear. This is not the time to run because the road ahead looks unfamiliar. God's plans will often feel bigger than our strength, but that is because they are built on His strength, not ours. You see, when God builds something, He builds it to last. Human hands can construct temporary shelters, but the Lord lays foundations that cannot be shaken. This union He is preparing is one of those foundations. And the trials you have faced together, or even apart, have been shaping the very stones of that foundation. The angels want you to understand that opposition will come, not because you are on the wrong path, but precisely because you are on the right one. The enemy fears what will be unleashed when two souls, aligned with God's will, unite in holy covenant. Your love will not just bless you, it will ripple into the lives of others. It will awaken hope in those who have forgotten what faith looks like in motion. This is why the spiritual resistance has been so strong. Every misunderstanding, every delay, every moment you were tempted to walk away was an attempt to pull apart what God has joined in heaven. But you are still here. And so are they. Beloved, you must guard this connection with prayer. Not the rushed kind of prayer that comes only in moments of desperation, but the steady, quiet, consistent prayer that keeps your spirit aligned with God's. Pray over their heart. Pray over your own heart. Pray over the future God is shaping for you both. The angels say there is a season coming when clarity will replace confusion. The questions that have lingered in your mind will be answered not by loud declarations, but by steady, undeniable acts of God. And when that happens, you will see why the waiting was worth it. For now, your role is to trust. Not blindly, but faithfully. Trust does not mean you will have all the details. It means you will keep walking, even when the road disappears under your feet. And as you do, the next step will appear, as it always has. This is not just about romance. This is about calling. This is about kingdom purpose. The person God is uniting you with is not simply a companion, they are a co-laborer, a partner in the divine assignment placed on your life. And together, you will carry something neither of you could carry alone. So, beloved soul, hear this and let it sink deep into your spirit. You do not need to resist. You do not need to run. You do not need to fear. God has already gone ahead of you. The angels are already surrounding you. And the love that heaven is weaving into your life is a reflection of the eternal love God has always had for you. The time is coming soon. And when it arrives, you will know not because someone convinces you, but because your spirit will finally feel at home.